And joining me from Tokyo is Ryuko Hira, a very special guest, certainly to decode the big takeaways of the New Delhi Declaration. He is the chairman of Indian Commerce and Industry Association, a prominent body which was established in 1921 in Japan, which promotes Indian economic and industrial agenda in that country. Mr. Hira, really appreciate your time and thank you for your patience. Give us a sense of your big takeaways of the Delhi Declaration.
Well, I think it's a very important and historic day for India. And when we look at G20, we are reminded of a very important fact that the Indian diplomacy today, there are very few diplomats who are more essential to the remarkable rise of India. I mean, the success of G20 is an inside look at the well springs of the Indian foreign policy, whether it be America, whether it be Russia, whether it be China. Prime Minister Modi has been decisively present at every significant moment in the last decade. I think G20 is reflective of the leaders' events and the forces that formed relations between India and the world. Especially, G20 has changed the face of India on the earth. Today, there is hardly any area of activity in which the world can do without India.
That's right.
Today,
so give us a sense of the digital economy, because, one of the principles of G20 has been the thrust on digital public infrastructure and technological transformation. How does it help the business community and their agenda, particularly in Japan? Give us a perspective from that country, because you are there.
Yeah, thank you very much, Miss. It's a great thing. India is giving a lot to Japan in the digital transformation. We have a new digital ministry here, and we had a joint bilateral digital meeting. And as it stands today, the G20 declaration is very, very helpful, especially to Japan, in the sense that the Indian ambassador recently announced that he's going to have a tenfold Indian presence, especially based on this digital transformation. He has said that, we have 1,500 Japanese companies in India at the moment, and he wants to raise that to 15,000 in 3 years, and primarily based on the digital transformation.
What about the crypto assets, the emphasis on policy and regulation?
Yes, Japan has been very prudent on the crypto assets. We have tried to study crypto. The Bank of Japan has been very active in studying on crypto assets, but we are still to bring in local currencies. It's being done on a trial basis at the moment, and the crypto assets is a very important issue for Japan, which it has been studying very aggressively. There is a special department in Bank of Japan which handles with the study and research of crypto assets.
And the need for an adoption and introduction, it says, about central bank digital currencies. This will help cross-border payments as well as international monetary and financial system. How do you look at this aspect of the declaration?
Yes, this is very important, because I think the future remains with digital currency, and Japan has been studying very diligently, and I think it's a reality in the very near future.
Mr. Hira, really appreciate your time. But before I let you go, I'm sure you were part of the negotiations and you were very much part of the entire process. Help us understand the various aspects of it, particularly to do with the frameworks, the emphasis on global sovereign debt roundtable, and these developments with regards to G20.
But I think the key word is about the global south. And frankly, global south is a gold mine. It has a very meaningful aspect in the collaboration, in the cooperation, in the coordination, especially by Japan, in the prosperity of the global south. Japan is one of the world's largest exporter of capital, and talking about the debt especially in the global south countries, I don't think it is a very big issue when we look at the future. Especially G20 or India has created, an immense opportunity for funding and investing the green development and also implementing the SDGs and the digital transformation. You may be aware that Japan has promised 5 trillion yen, which is about $35 billion of direct private and national investments into India in the next 5 years.
And my last question to you, with regards to the transparency in this entire exercise. Financial inclusion, as you said, is the message that is going after also the official inclusion of African Union. But it's also that resource sharing that can happen. And as you say, it's a gold mine, which is untapped.
Yes. The theme of inclusion has never been taken up before. And I think the transparency this time in G20 has been more clear than it has ever been before. And the world embracing the African inclusion is a very, very important fact, especially for Japan, because Japan, India, and Africa have been working jointly for about 2 decades to bring a huge amount of development in that area.
All right, Mr. Ryuko Hira, hope to see you soon whenever you are here in India. Thank you so much for your time and thank you for sharing your thoughts with NDTV.